Every haunting has a beginning and an end, but in this place, one becomes the other. Step closer, the lantern's glow will guide you. What you are about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted. Every haunting has a beginning and an end, but in this place, one becomes the other. Step closer, the lantern's glow will guide you. What you are about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted. Hello, sorry I got that twice. It looped. How are you? Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted. And tonight we have a new little guest in the chats, and it is a Nightbot. And this is the reason why we put it in here. So we don't have to keep saying, don't say all these cursey words, don't do this, don't do that. Well, I want you all to have a good time. But I just want you to know, if you put a lot of little emotes or emojis, or if you caps, it'll do the little stop spamming, blah, blah, blah. So just don't worry about that, okay? This is our first night with it, so we're not calling anybody out. I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble, because you're not. So this way, it gives us an idea of how it's going to happen, what it's going to react. But the main thing is, I learned a hard lesson the other night when I did a late night live, and it was before any of our mods came in. I just went impromptu thinking, oh, I can handle it. And I had a very bad troll in there that I just couldn't keep up with. Some of you were in there. Some of you jumped in. Bless you. You said, give me a wrench, give me a wrench, give me a wrench. And so I did. And I can tell you, with this little Nightbot, it won't happen again, because that was horrific. Some of the things that this guy said to me. What? So anyway, he was bad. He was bad. So if you're watching me, little troll, but I doubt you are, because you were blocked. Anyway, oh yeah, it was impromptu, and it was on the attack. So that's one of the reasons that I got the bot. So just know, and I'm going to fix it because I want you guys to use the emojis. I want you to, so I'm going to fix it because I'm seeing, all that other type of stuff. I wasn't traumatized because, quite frankly, I don't care. Some of the stuff that he said to me, I just wanted to say, yeah, well, your mom said the same thing, but I didn't care. Anyway, this will help. So that way, our mods can actually have a good time too. And what you're going to see is some of these automated things. So you're going to see, and I can see a warning come out. So just bear with us, okay? I'm going to fix a lot of that. But I want to just say, welcome to each and every one of you. It is Thursday night. I had to check. September 4th of 2025. And there we go. So we've got a lot going on. And I want to just ask that we kind of stay focused. Sorry. It is storming to beat the band out. Woo! I love it. The sirens have been going off. So if I lose StreamYard, you'll know what happened. Gotcha, Julie. Gotcha. Thank you so much. You guys are wonderful. I'm going to tell you, you guys are wonderful. So please give me a bump. And now that brings me to another little thing. We all know that the defense rested today. Nobody is resting now. The jury is deliberating on Donna Adelson, and we're waiting for the jury to come back, or we're waiting for them to go home. If anyone sees that the jury is back, let me know, because I will jump over and grab so we can do a verdict watch. Okay? So that's it. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a verdict watch or not. I don't know, but thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm waiting for the verdict too. Yesterday in my reading, I kept coming up with the number 4, so they rested on the 4th. Today is the 4th. Within 4 days, obviously, we're going to be getting a verdict. I know we will, probably before Tuesday. So thank you. Thank you. So just let me know. They are, as far as I know, they're still deliberating, and Florida will go. They'll grind it. They'll crank it. They'll crank it. So thank you for being patient with me and this little Nightbot. I'm kind of digging him. It's nice because you know what? Our mods need a little time. They need a little vacation. They need so all I have to do is just beam, 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 put a few little things in there, done. And any trolls that come in and any bad words, like bad words. So if any of you type anything that is like, it will time you out. I just want to give you a warning on it because you can't slip, because some of these words, because you know what? I want to be around for a long time. I want to be around for a long time. So we've been having a lot of fun with this, and I'm going to tell you what, we are in September now. The 7th is a full blood moon, and it's called a corn moon too. I don't know if I like that word, but it is also an eclipse. We're going to be talking about that. It's on the 7th, which is, what day is the 7th? Hello, Zelda. It's on a Sunday, so Saturday night, we'll be talking about that. Okay, so EDB just sent out, said they're still deliberating. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, thanking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know. So I guess they're just basically saying, if you do one more than one emoji, you're probably going to get, so I'm going to fix that. So I'm going to fix it. So my darlings, we're going to have a good time. Amy whose birthday is it today? Whose birthday? Thank you, little Nightbot. Look at this. Look at this. Who's your favorite grifter? And you know what? I'm gonna put my little QR code up here. But I want our mods to have a good time. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Nightbot. You're the one for me. I want the mods to have a good time. Okay? Sunday is my daughter's birthday. Okay, so we'll sing happy birthday Saturday night. So anyway, I want everybody to have a good time because, when listen, we're going to start cranking. I'm on my way to 12,000 subscribers. We got to keep the numbers going. We got to get going because sometimes we just slack. Not you guys, but I'm just saying. So that's what's going. Pardon the voice. Yes, deliberating in Florida. They always deliberate late. They're not like Auntie Bev and her, it's 2:30. I just had lunch and now it's time for, got to go get my White Claw. Yes, there's a lot going on too with Karen. So we'll do something like this. So there we go. So thank you so much. Yes, I see this little, listen, this little Nightbot, he's going to town. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I came here tonight because I want to talk to you about, hello, this is Sammy. I want to talk to you about, yes, we all know the drill. Plus, she does see her looking out the window. She doesn't like storms. So she's not like her mama. There you go, Debbie. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to focus now because I'm going to tell you some of my favorite EVP scary stories. Grab your snacks, my darlings. Get a little drinky. Because it is something else. Yes, mommy's angel. Her is. Oh, I just got kissed. And it was wet. So, there you go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to keep focused now. Going to keep focused. Back in the old days, when I had my little Fisher Price, I called it the FP because, you know, there's big bad Zelda walking around with a little child's cassette player, and all these other guys, you know, they had all their little, you know, whatever. And there I was walking around, big earrings, lots, you know, just my thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'll tell you about that later. And I show up with my little FP. So when you hear me say FP, it's my little Fisher Price. Now, back in the day, when I was doing this, we did not hear about EVPs. There was no such word, acronym, nothing. It was not. What it was called, we called him, I have to make sure that I'm pronouncing it right, rowdies. I wrote it down, rowdies. And the reason we called it rowdies, because I think in the 60s and 70s, there was a doctor, Dr. Constantine Raudonnet, I think his name was, Radov, something. That's why we called it rowdies. He's the one who came up with these early, for the time, recordings of voices. We didn't know what to call them. We just didn't know what to call them. So we didn't go into this phenomena. We went ghost hunting, and that was it. It wasn't, I'm an investigator, I'm a demonologist, I'm a this way. Boom. That's what it was. So I got to put her down. She's distracting me. Okay. Okay. But you know, okay, here's the thing, my darlings. Just give it a break. It's limiting emoji use. All right, Nightbot, this is the first night. Be patient. If you use more than 3 emojis, it's going to call you out. So I think we can use 1 or 2. Okay? But I need it. I want you all to understand I need it, and my mods do too, because things can get out of hand very quickly. And instead of me ranking everything, please don't say this, please don't say that, please don't say that, it won't even let you use it. Won't even do it. Won't even let you use it. So it's all good. All right. So, you know, nobody's going to get deleted because I'm seeing your comments. Can we just please be patient? It's going to be okay. We can just use 1 or 2 emojis and I'll fix it. Okay. So let's not get boomed up. All right. 3 emojis, all good. So we called them rowdies. Dr. Constantine, I want to make sure so you guys can look. I want to make sure I pronounce it. Rodeve. Rodeve is what it's called. Dr. Rodeve. We called them rowdies because, anyway. So the first story I've got to tell you is probably one of the scariest ones. Okay? One of the scariest ones. And I would show up at my little FP I was the only female there. And usually when that happened, the guys would go off in one direction and I would go off in another because they didn't want to be around me. I don't know why. So we would go to these places. We went to this one. It was like a warehouse, but it had a bottom floor with lots of crawl spaces. I never did figure out what it was. Now, this was in Ohio. And on the bottom with the crawl, it was one of these places that it was like a mental hospital turned into something else, and then apartments, and then it was abandoned, and it was one of those jobs. So, no, the boys aren't bright. So anyway, I was down in this, and I look back and I think, Zelda. But I did. I would go, and I'm telling you, I would go in these places. I wouldn't even go now because I was younger and wasn't as smart then. So we went in there, and I went in one wing. We split up, one in one side. The boys went on another. There were these holes, vents, little crawl spaces that came out into this tunnel, but you could walk through it. I mean, it was like, just a walkway. It was a basement, but it smelled like copper and damp and mold. It was horrible. And, you were ending up coughing a lot by the time you got out of there. So I thought, I'm just going to put one of my little FP in that hole. Now, that hole was probably about yay by yay. It was like a vent, okay? So it went to this, I'm walking around. I put my little FP in the vent. And I'm like, hello? If you have anything to say, are you in there? And of course, you don't hear anything. I'm walking around. I'm looking at stuff that's on the ground, things that people leave, all these other things. And it's like, yeah, rusted pennies is the worst. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, no big deal. Just weird. So I thought, maybe if I make a noise. So I'm standing far away from it, and I clap. And I say, can you clap? Let me hear you make a noise. Nothing. And then I'm like, okay, this went on, whatever. The boys came through. You could hear them talking. They went past me, and I thought, I had enough of this. I can't hardly breathe. I'm going back upstairs. And you hear me saying, I'm going upstairs, and they just waved me off like, we don't give a flip where you go. So I go upstairs, didn't think a thing about it, looked around, did a few more little things, and said, okay, I'm signing out, because I could tell my batteries were slowing down. And it was always funny in a cassette player because you could just see the wheels, right? You knew it was getting ready to poop out. So I thought, here we go. Time to listen. Now, this time I didn't stop for coffee and pie. I just went home. and I was single. I was renting an apartment from my cousin. It was an upstairs apartment. The garage was downstairs. It was very cool. And I kind of forgot about it. I went inside, took a bath because I felt like I smelled like this, all this other. And then I thought, I got that on the table. I'm going to listen. Oh my gosh. It was all quiet. And from the moment that I put my little FP in the crawl space, I'm making this noise. You can hear me talk. And a voice comes on, and you can hear it, that it was far away. And the voice said, "Don't make me come out there." I about grabbed. So I'm listening. So when I start clapping my hands, it clapped its hand. It did a clap. You could hear a clap in this vent. And I thought, oh God, why didn't I stay? That was the first thing I thought of, is why didn't I stay? I mean, I got the chills. So as one of those, now I'm listening. No coffee and pie. No, I didn't have anybody to go out. Be careful of all the caps, using all caps. You'll get the bot. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. So anyway, I think the old cassette players had a lot. I got a lot better EVPs on the old cassette players than I did on anything else. And I had that old cassette player until I had my son, and then he started playing with it, and it's just like, and then it pooped out. So throughout the rest, you could hear me saying, I'm going to go up. And the boys waving me off. You could hear they walked through, and you could hear tockling. You could hear tockling and talking, like coming from this crawl space. I thought that was one of the best and scariest, because it flipped me out. That one flipped me out when it said, "Don't make me come out there." I thought, oh, frick. You know, those are the trolls from the spirit world. That was a scary one for me. I never went back. I wish I would have. So I wrote all these down. Hello, the Goodmans are in the chat. Welcome, and welcome to each and every one of you. My goodness, my darlings, I love it. Give me a second here. Sam, oh my goodness, girl. It's storming, so please be patient with her, because she's got to come up there with her mama. So anyway, all right, my darlings. So there we go. That's number one. That is number one. Number two, I wrote all these down so I could remember. Number two, I lived in farm country. I was from that area up there where it was just like flat, tornado, no hills, no mountains, that sort of thing. Pardon me. And sometimes we would have silos that would be empty. Nothing in there. Thank you. Sometimes we would have silos that would be empty. Now, as a rule, when you're on a farm, you don't go into a full silo. You don't, and there have been many who have lost their lives over the years by jumping into the top of a full silo. You get down in there and you smother, you won't come out. So we were always taught, but this one was empty. And I've always been, I've always been fascinated. Because if you ever stand in a silo, they're big. And if you say hello, your voice just sounds like it goes in a cyclone all the way up until it goes to the top. So anyway, yeah, bad. So I'm standing in this silo and I'm saying, hello. And what I do is I take the FP, put it on the ground, and I stand up on the side of the silo. Now, this one was old. It had what they call the ribs of the silo where they put it together is rusted, it's been well used. So I'm sitting and I start hearing these noises, and it was not windy, it was not rainy, nothing like that at all, nothing. And these silos, well, there was one beside it, and it sounded like somebody in the one beside me was pounding. And I thought, there's some jerk over there trying to scare me. So I left my FP, went out, looked in this other silo, and it's empty. And I'm thinking, okay. So I go back into one where my FP is. And I'm just standing there taking in all these sounds, all the thoughts, everything that is going on. And I'm thinking, okay, we're just going to be standing in here. And I had this urge to sing, and I didn't do it, and I'm glad I did. Or I'm glad I didn't, rather. So it was very metallic in there, very metallic feeling. So I say, because I always ask in my investigations, who are you and what year is it? Are you a male? Are you a female? That's kind of where I go in, and I was already grounded before I went in. So nothing really happened until I got my FP and I went to walk out the door. Now, the door of these corn cribs or silos are like a cutout of metal, and they're like a variegated metal, and they're just like, hello. I go up to the door, put my hand on the door, and I hear this audible voice say, bye. It was a male. And I said, oh, I'm not going anywhere. I would like to talk to you. And there was silence. And I knew that my recorder caught it. So I put it down again because, those you couldn't have a body function or those things would pick it up, believe me. So I put it down, I let it be, and I'm sitting in there and I just feel this cold. And I mean, when you feel the cold in an investigation come over you like that, it is like I can't even describe it. It's a cold that feels like it moves through you. It's like it's chill. It's when you say chilling, well, that's exactly what it is. It's chilling. And I felt this cold go through me, and I thought, oh, we've stirred the pot. Hello. And so I'm sitting there, I'm standing there saying, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's going on? All this other. And it's like, Um, time went on and it was silent. And I thought, well, I'm not going to stay in here a little, I'm not going to stay in here for a long time. I had a flashlight with me. And because even in the daytime, those silers are dark. They don't have windows. So I had a flashlight and I had the door cracked a little bit. And so I held the flashlight down. Well, something happened. I don't even remember what it was. I dropped something. I put the flashlight down and there were footsteps. They were not mine, on the ground. Now, I do not believe that they were anyone else's, and I'll tell you why. So I pick up my flashlight and I'm looking around and I see this shadow like dart. It was so fast. And I thought, oh, I better get out of here. This isn't good. This isn't good. So just as I went to get the door, I didn't hear any more voices. I felt my hair. And this is why I don't wear earrings. I wear my ring when I go out to investigate, but I don't wear any earrings or anything because I felt my hair go. Just like that. And I just stood there because the verdict is in. Oh my gosh. Hold still, my darlings. Verdict is in. Hold the phone. Let me see if I can get a, she's guilty. I know she is. Let me see if I can get something. Hello? Anybody got the verdict yet? I cannot stream EDB. I cannot stream it. Okay. I don't see anybody yet. I don't see anybody yet. Okay. Wow. So it did come in on the 4th. Wow. Are we sure it's a verdict or is it a question? I bet she's guilty. Yeah. Yeah. I bet so. I cannot find a channel that it is on right now. Give me a sec. I'm going to keep refreshing. I cannot. Emily will copyright me. I don't see it. Keep me posted. Yeah, I don't see. So. Okay, I'll keep going. Y'all let me know if there's another channel that's got it on. If I can stream it, I will. Yeah, the 4th, may the 4th be with you. Laura Lee has it on. Law and Crime. Law and Crime ding me, but you know what? I don't care. Give me a second. Let me find it. Law and Crime. Let me see if this is live. Oh, no. This is from before. Okay. I can't see this. I'm looking, my darlings. Hang in there. I'm looking. I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, good idea, Ashley. Good idea. Long and trials. Young jerks. Let's see if I can get it with Mike because I don't think he'll ding me. Mike knows I'm a good guy. Let me see. Good grief, by the time I flip in Grizzly Crime, I know them too. Where in the world? I cannot find it. I'm seeing closing statements. I'm not seeing anything about verdict. He's doing closing statements, I think. Isn't he? Yeah, he's got, I'm seeing that there. Hello. Justice served. I can't do lawyer. I can't do lawyer Lee. Hi there, my darlings. She's going down there in the courtroom. Oh, shoot, where is it? Lawyer Lee, I can't do her. She'll ding me for copyright. Let me look at lawyer, you know. I think he'll be okay. Oh, Court TV has it. Let me get Court TV. Okay, I see it here. Let me get you all in here, my darlings. Let me get you all in. She's worried. Hold on. Give me a second, my darlings. Let me patch y'all in. I can't stream EDB. She'll copyright me. Give me a second.
Right now on our screens, we're looking at a live picture of Donna as she awaits her fate. You see, she's not really feeling too good. You see, it looks, she had a little scowl going on right there.
She should
be. Very emotional, very nervous. Philip, what I want to do for our viewers is play a little bit of the closings from the defense and prosecution to remind them of what was said during those. Let's take a listen.
Charlie didn't care about the Adelson family getting a win against
There's a verdict. Okay, my darlings.
He didn't care about relocation. He didn't care about Wendy's divorce. He cared about go-karts and jet skis and pretty girls.
TV, so hopefully
he also cared about getting things done for the number one woman in his life. And that was his
I'm sure
mother. She managed
her.
Charlie's life for him, and in return, he solved problems for her. That pattern is seen throughout this case.
I cannot
Georgia Kappelman there, Philip, making her
second.
case in the closing arguments. What did you make of that?
She's fantastic. Seriously, I think she's a very effective prosecutor, and she is in it to win it.
She's prosecutor of the year down in Florida.
See, I can't move it.
Oh, and I think she's going to get 2 years in a row. Win or lose, by the way. Okay. But I will tell you that as to Jackie Fulford, you know, I've said it online. She was en fuego during her closing, on fire. I thought she did a great job, you know, given the hand that she was dealt. I mean, the poor lady was drinking from the fire hydrant, being torpedoed with all this evidence against her client.
That's the best I can do, my darling.
She had a response to every single piece of evidence. And in the end, if we're all honest, there was not one piece of evidence pre-bump that pointed toward her involvement. There was nothing whatsoever to suggest that she was in league with the killing.
Philip, I'm glad you finished right there because I'm getting word that the judge is speaking. Let's go into that courtroom now.
Here we go, my darling.
For a live look at this verdict.
Before the jurors are brought in and the verdict is published, I want to make sure everyone understands whatever the verdict will be in the case.
Is that 3 or 4 hours?
Or any form making any movements that you either agree or disagree with the verdict. We are going to respect what the jury's decision is. and we're not going to subject them to any displays of emotion, whether it be from the gallery or the parties. If anyone believes they are not capable of following this instruction, I'd ask you to step outside at this time. Mrs. Adelson also as well, once the verdict is read, again, I'm going to advise you, do not have any displays of emotion. As best you can, you are in control of yourself. Do you understand?
Yeah, control your crack there, Donna.
All right, we're going to squeeze in a little break here, everyone. Much anticipated verdict in the case against Donna Adelson. We'll be right back, and we'll take you into that courtroom again right after the break.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, did Donna Adelson play a role in the murder of Dan Markel? We're live with every development as deliberations get underway.
I don't
Closing
think she can
Arguments
appeal.
with Vinny Politan, tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Studies show that having lots of books at home is one of the best ways to help a child succeed
Hey, you guys
in school
don't.
and
Hey,
beyond.
no spoiler
That's why the
alerts,
Scripps
okay?
Howard Fund started the
Let me
If
just
You
say
Ever
that.
Child a
No
Book
spoiler
campaign.
alerts
So
in there.
please, if you could give a
Because
child a
oh,
book
shoot, let
today.
me,
We
let
would
me
be so
mute this.
grateful.
Okay, my darlings. I'm probably going to have to get this segment out of here anyway, so I'm not copyrighted. I cannot go to Long Crime. They get me copyrighted. And I'm not, I don't need a copyright strike. They do it to me every time. So I have to wait. Okay. So just, you know, hold on. Hold on. Hey, no spoiler alerts. Okay. No spoiler alerts in the chat. None, please. None. Okay. We're going to wait until these come back because I have silenced this. The dice were right. 4 hours. Today is the 4th. There we go. Hey, let's not put spoiler alerts in the chat for the rest of us, please. Okay? Let's do that. All right? So can we just calm down and please just wait. We're going to hear it. I would prefer to, I mean, because at this point, why have the stream? I know Emily is live streaming. I cannot stream her, okay? Because I get a copyright. So let's just all calm down. I can't use Emily. I can't use Long Crime. I'm not going to get a copyright. I'm pushing it with Court TV. All right. So I'm keeping this. All right. I can't use Defense Diary. I don't stream other people's streams without their permission. Okay. So let's just all calm down and we're going to watch it as it unfolds. Okay. Okay. No spoiler alerts in the chat or I'm going to shut this down. Okay. Okay. If y'all want to go somewhere else, you can go somewhere else. We're together and I want to watch it together. And that's just the way it is. So we're going to watch it here. Because if I start farting around and putting a lot of, things out here, then we're going to miss it all. And I don't want to miss it all. I want to see it. Here we go.
Welcome back to Court TV. Let's get you right back into court for that much anticipated verdict of Donna Adelson.
Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order.
Here we go.
At this time, I will publish the verdict.
Thank you, my darlings.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself. Count 2. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2 of the indictment. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
Yep.
Count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 3 of the indictment. Solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will escort you to the jury room.
I can't say that I wouldn't be the same, quite frankly. I would be upset.
Mrs. Adelson, while this was not the outcome I'm sure that you desired, there will not be any further outbursts in front of the jury. If you cannot control yourself, I am going to have to determine if you will be removed from the remainder of this process. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yes. Do you need a moment to collect yourself? Before the jurors are brought back in, we will take a brief 2-minute break. Please
Okay,
give her
let's let the
tissues
chat
if
go.
she needs them.
It's fine. Let's let the chat go.
So the report is given impact to the defense and to your honor.
When the jurors are brought back into the room, does the defense wish to have the jurors polled before they are discharged?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well.
That's right. What do you expect, Donna, prima donna? You thought you were going to get out. You know, I know some people are celebrating. I'm not celebrating. I'm not celebrating this. I just think that
All right, joining me after this, Verdit Court TV anchor Ted Rollins.
Okay, let me
Ted,
forget about
is this what you expected the outcome to be? What do you think?
Let me find another channel. We saw this together. I want to find another channel here. Let's turn the chat back on, my darlings. You don't turn the chat off, please. Let's turn the chat on. Let me see. I can't stream these other people because that is bad to get in trouble with them, and I just don't want to do that. Let me see if I can't find another one. Well, I don't think I can find another one. But well, for those coming in and are upset about the Nightbot, please understand that it's here to help me and the mods, and this is the first night we've rolled it out. So we're going to, there's some things that I'm going to be adjusting, okay? I'm going to be adjusting. So I can't help it. I can't help it. not all caps. I'm ready to shut the stream down if you want to know the truth. No caps. Don't use any more than 3 emojis. And we should be good. We should be good. So let me see if I can find a another gig here. We just did, okay, these are impact statements. So let me go back. I'm going to share this with us, okay? Okay, that one's not the right one. Let me forget about that. Give me another second here, please. This is long crime. Let's hope and pray to God I don't get nicked on this one, but it's okay. Wait, where is this? What in the world? I don't want this one. There we go. Let me see which one it is I have. There we go. Let me get it, my darlings. Let me get it.
College of Law. Dan's life was filled with passion, music, dance, sports, travel, and people. But of all my son's accomplishments, however, I am most proud of the devoted father Danny was to his 2 sons, Benjamin and Lincoln. Dan was present, loving, and supportive, always putting his children's well-being first. He regularly attended the boys' daycares, reading with them. His office was filled with their drawings, and his home, his living room, filled with their toys. Dan was the boys' hero, and they have been forced.
Okay, I'm going to switch over. Give me a second. I'm coming, darlings. I'm coming.
Law enforcement
There we go.
And prosecutors, our gratitude is beyond for their dedicated, careful perseverance in seeking justice for Danny and our family. If Tallahassee is known for football, Tallahassee should be known for the prosecution and for law enforcement. They have done an outstanding job. These extraordinary
Thank you, everybody, for your
efforts
patience.
underscore the brutal truth of our family's story. Danny's murder was orchestrated by his former mother-in-law, Donna Adelson, and other co-conspirators, and is a crime of cruelty. It is a murder of grief, a murder of selfishly prioritizing one's own desires over what is just or right. And at its core, this was a murder of convenience, so that one grandmother could live closer to her grandchildren. She killed their father and ripped the children from the other grandparents' lives. Donna Adelson's crimes against Dan began long before his murder. She belittled Dan in front of his children. She spread lies about him and contributed to a brutal separation between Dan and Wendy. She rented the house, and Dan came home and he found that Wendy and the boys were gone with most of their belongings. He called this devastation Pearl Harbor. Donna's eagerness for Wendy to divorce Dan and to relocate to South Florida led her to increasingly devise.
I believe this is Dan's mom.
Despite these efforts, the court ruled that Wendy could not move the boys away from their loving father. Failing to achieve her goal through legal means, Donna finally resorted to orchestrating Dan's murder. She plotted, planned, and paid for his murder. Donna's crimes led to further devastation. Her middle son, Charlie, was convicted and sentenced to a life in prison for his role in facilitating Danny's murder for hire. Can you imagine a mother involving a son to complete a murder? Donna's eldest son, Rob, an honest and decent man, is estranged from the family, and her younger child, Wendy, has decided once again to relocate to another state. Her actions and those of her co-conspirators have caused children to lose their parents. Catherine McManus, Freda Garcia, and Charlie Adelson, also convicted, are all convicted for life and have lost access to their children. Prior to her arrest, Donna's recorded phone calls with Charlie reveal their lack of a moral compass or capacity for self-reflection. She blames external forces for her family's curse. They're outside of her, but she is the curse, and lashes out angrily at witnesses who took the brave step to testify. Her modus operandi has always been to run from Tallahassee and then to try to flee to Vietnam. For our family, there is no such prospect for escape. Danny's absence, and that leaves a hole at the center of our lives, no matter where we go. Yet Dan's murder was not enough for Donna. His death was not enough. Danny had to be fully erased from his beloved sons. The boy's last name was ever changed, an extraordinary decision to excise the Markell name from Phil's only grandsons who shared his last name. And after the first arrests were made, Donna didn't allow the Markell family to have access for over 6 years. It was only when there was a phenomenal Tallahassee advocacy group that passed the Markell Act. The passage of this bill was immediately followed by our first invitation to see the boys after the arrest. The door only cracked open. Despite these efforts, we remain excluded from the boys' lives. We were not at their bar mitzvahs or graduations. We have extremely highly choreographed visits and communications. We only wait for the day that Benjamin and Lincoln will visit their father and his grave, and his father's history, and his grave in Toronto. We want nothing more. The facts of Danny's murder, are difficult to swallow. The experiences Phil, Shelley, and I have been forced to suffer are profound as homicide survivors and victims of the criminal system. The lives of Danny's 2 sons, our grandchildren, were forever turned upside down by this crime. Benjamin and Lincoln were only preschoolers when their father was murdered, and now they are forced to confront and try to understand the unthinkable crimes of murder and the Adolescents' involvement. Our lives will never return to normal. For those who love Danny and for those who Danny loved, there is no escape from the wicked effects of what Donna Adelson set in motion, carried out, and paid for, and for many years enjoyed the aftermath of. Donna Adelson has caused immense devastation and an untimely, undeserved murder through her actions. While no trial or verdict can ever heal the profound wounds caused by Dan's murder, Justice must be served. I respectfully ask the court to impose the maximum sentence on Donna Adelson. Her lack of cooperation and remorse throughout the case demands justice, the justice that Dan's life and memory fully deserve. We are immensely grateful to the court for its careful and compassionate deliberation. Respectively, Ruth Markel.
Thank you, Ms. Markel. Are there any other victim impact statements this evening? Please tell us your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Phil Markel. I'm Danny's father. Judge Everett, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the impact of Donna Adelson's actions on my families and the families of so many others. While this victim impact statement is addressed to you, Your Honor, it is also intended for the Adelson family, Harvey, Charlie, Wendy, and particularly Donna. I would like them to understand and reflect on the deep and irreparable damage they have caused. The pain that they have caused my family is obvious and permanent, but they have also caused lifelong harm to their own immediate family and so many other families and children around. Donna's selfishness, cruelty, and complete disrespect for human life.
Look at Harvey.
Along with that of her co-conspirators, have left families forever broken. Louis Rivera, his children have no father. Catherine Magbanoa and Sigfredo Garcia, their children have no parents. Charlie Adelson, his son, Roman, has no father. Rob Adelson and his wife and their 2 children have lost their uncle and grandparents. Shelley and Ian, my daughter, their 3 children, my grandchildren, are left without an uncle and are separated from their cousins. Of course, their heinous and callous actions have left me, Ruth, and Shelley without our Danny.
Mitchell, I think
and Lincoln.
it's always kind of been this way.
For anyone to commit such a cold-blooded, unprovoked act of murder is horrific. For Donna, someone who claims to care so much about Ben and Lincoln, her sun shines. Her actions are beyond comprehension. She has harmed forever the people she claims to have loved. In the Jewish custom, we have an expression to always wish others to live to 120 years of age. For Donna, I wish her to live to 120, alone in her jail cell. I wish that every day of her remaining days, she thinks about the harm she has caused to so many, especially those 2 boys she claims to have loved so much.
Yeah, her sunshine.
For these reasons, Your Honor, I ask the court sentence Donna Adelson to the maximum possible sentence. And my only short question to Donna, was it worth it? Respectfully, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Markel. Are there any other matters that the court needs to address this evening, Ms. Koppelman? With the PSI being ordered, the court will pronounce the sentence as to counts 2 and 3 after it's been completed. The parties have had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report and make any objections if they believe they need to. As to the 3 counts the jury has found the defendant guilty of, I will adjudicate her guilty at this time, but the sentence will be pronounced as to the 3 counts at a later date. She is remanded for sentencing at this time. Lieutenant Henry, please notify the commander at the jail that the appropriate screening needs to take place to ensure that the defendant is in an area where she is not subject to any self-harm.
Yep. See, that's what I was thinking she was going to do. And look at her. She's planning on it. She's planning on trying it.
Party's request.
Ms. Dugan's October court date, Your Honor.
Read that is 10/14. Is that correct, Ms. Dugan? October 14th for case management at 2:30 p.m. That will be in the normal courtroom 3B. Patricia, if you can make sure that the notice goes to DOC so they are aware that the PSI needs to be completed as soon as possible. Thank you. We are in recess at this time. We will reconvene on October 14th. Have a good evening, everyone.
Imagine being that age. I want to see the judge go out because I'm in love with the judge. All in the court, here come the judge. Where's Harvey? I want to see Harvey. What's he doing? Going home and packing, buddy. That I bet you 10-1, Harvey. Because there ain't nothing you can do now about Donna. She's done gone. Ciao. I wonder. I wonder how those boys are feeling. Careful about the cussy words there. Where did Harvey go? He bolted right out of there. Sorry, I want to see this. I want to see the families. Finally, justice. Almost justice. Yeah, I feel for the kids. So the reading, if you saw it yesterday, the 4s were it. Within 4 hours, it was about 4 hours, and good night to the great state of Florida. There goes the seal, and thank you very, very much. I don't think that, they can start an appeal. I don't think she's going to get anywhere. And good night to this great state of Florida. Thank you, Judge Everett. There we are. Let me turn this off. Wow, just wow. Ellen, is your birthday today? Oh my goodness. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ellen. Happy birthday to you and many more. Very good. Bravo. What a day to celebrate. What a day. What a day. Sentencing October 14th at 2:30. We will be here. I wrote it on the calendar, and we're definitely going to be see it. Now, my darlings, the prediction that I had yesterday, there were a lot of 4s. There were a lot of 4s, and now we have October 14th. She's going to get life, period. I don't know how old Donna is. I know Harvey is 81. My question is, how many of you think that Harvey's going to cut and run? They'll be watching him. They'll be watching him. But I'm just going to say this. If I were Wendy, I would be defecating in biblical proportions. 75, okay. I would be defecating biblical proportions, and Harvey's too. Harvey too. I'm thinking they may wait until after the sentencing for Donna, but there's a plan. We've got at least one more. But see, here's the thing. You can run now, but you can't hide. There's ways to get to people. Even if you run to China, Hong Kong, because I don't know if you all know this or not, you don't even need a visa to get into Hong Kong. Hello. Yeah, Wendy lives in Texas. Wendy lives in Texas. And ciao for now. Hello. But there's ways. If they want to get you, they'll come and get you. And believe me, when you go on that most wanted list, you'll be looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life. It is very seldom. Because here's the thing, okay? Can I just say this? Here's the thing. What do we really think that if Donna and Harvey was going to go to Vietnam, that they wouldn't stay off the bloody phones, that she wouldn't be writing and the emails wouldn't be coming? If you want to go underground, pardon me, in my opinion, you better flip and go underground. And that means no electronic devices, no ATM cards, no nothing. And you know what? At some point, your cash is going to run out. So what are you going to do? Then, right, Mitchell, then again, who wants to go to Hong Kong? Hello? But I also am going to say, I wonder if they go to Wendy, because Harvey's at risk. Sorry. Harvey is at risk. What's going on? Yeah, no swearing, please. Justice is definitely served. But I wonder this, my darlings. Harvey is a person of interest, in my opinion. And I'm wondering at this point. Wow, hold on. We are getting the storm of storms. It is a hit in the window. It's a hit in the window. And these people may have deep pockets. But at one point, and especially if you got family, if you don't have family, that type of thing isn't you can't do it when you talk us. So now we've got 2 in that family in the big house. They're not done yet. They're not done yet. Wendy will be next. But I'm wondering if Wendy is going to say, look, you make me a deal. I'll not only give up my dad, but I'll give you more. I'll give you more. I'll give up my dad. I will sing like a canary. I don't believe Wendy's going to run because she already knows where you're going to go, and she's got 2 kids. But ultimately, those 2 boys are going to end up in Canada with this good family, and they're going to realize, because you know what? They're not that far from 18. And I love what Mr. Markel said. Was this worth it? Is it worth it? Prima donna. And I'm also going to say this to prima donna. In my opinion, I'm not supposed to judge, but I can discern. And I want to tell you this. I don't think you're upset about what you did. I just think you're upset because you got caught. That makes the difference. That makes the difference. I'm going to also tell you, they better be careful about Miss Donna, because I saw in the cards yesterday she was going to try to off herself. So she's all crying and boo-hooing right now. And believe me, those were real tears. Those were tears for fears. Because at this point, I can tell you what, she will probably go to her lawyer and say, look, I'll give up Wendy, I'll give up my husband, I'll give up the maid, I'll give up this chicken salad at Greenblatt's, but do not give me life. Give me 5 years, give me 10 years, and I will sing. I look at it this way. I have a lot of Jewish friends. And I look at it, hold on a minute. Terry, I don't see Zelda. I don't know. Are you okay? Or did I do something? Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, the judge has got her. She's going to be in some type of solitary and on a watch list. Yeah, Terry, you got to come back because I think y'all can see me, right? So, this stream is on True Oracle and it is on my channel. So 2 channels. Greenblatt's in Florida. Well, no, New York, but New Jersey. Okay, good. Good. So, my darlings, I think that's where the tears were. I think that's where the tears, but what I was going to say is I have a lot of Jewish friends. I talk to one almost on the daily. He's in Canada. He and his family are in Canada. And, there are some things in that belief that I don't agree with. But that doesn't mean that he's wrong. It means that he is devout. It means that he's, that they want to do the right thing. And I believe that's what Dan wanted for these boys. They wanted to do the right thing. Well, she tried to abstainize herself. And I got to tell you, Donna, you aren't looking, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you try to do something like that, that's a coward. What a coward. Because it's not a trade-off. And if you had a belief system like you said you did, you wouldn't want to be offing yourself. You would stand up and take it because you did it. Take the responsibility. But I'm going to tell you what today. Mazel. Let's all say mazel. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat. Mazel. Everybody give me a mazel. Everybody give me a mazel. You know what that's for? Mazel tov. Mazel, mazel. We got, hello. Mazel. Mazel, mazel. We got a good outcome. If you do the crime, you got to do the time. Listen, she will be spending her days. She will become now a ward of the state. And whatever medical that she has, the state will have to take care of. She will not get out on a medical, any type of a medical, any type of that. No. So, mazel to the judge. Mazel, mazel. Shalom, mazel. Very good. Because, but you know, to me, in this particular case now, we all have people who have had problems, okay? And no shade on anyone. But in this particular case, with Donna, I call her Adelson because she reminds me of the viper, an adder. Donna Adelson. Oh, yeah, well, she's going to try to deal. She's not going to get a deal, but she's going to try everything because, see, she's a prima donna. The prima donna is all about manipulation, narcissism, sociopathic tendencies. The judge can see, and if the McAlberts are watching, better learn a lesson. Because there's some things coming out because there's a big mega motion gonna come out. I'm just gonna say, give me those texts, please. I'm a wanting to read those texts between Jennifer and, now, I gotta tell you this. We sit here, I tell scary stories, I talk about the dead talking through and energies and all this other stuff. But you know what, my darlings? The human race can be a big disgrace. And especially like this crap right here that we just saw, that kind of thing scares me more than the paranormal. Have the ghosts show up at any time. But face grandma prima donna and whoever said they love mine. Oh, Lady H, Amazon $3.99. Yeah, that mega motion is, talk about a high. Hello. Jawbone. I hope you're watching, Jawbone. Hope you're watching. Because, see, that's another one. Oh, the Ohio State Reformatory. I've got to show you. Ohio State Reformer was I love the story. Is that place? I need Zelda cards. Going to be. Oh, better. Okay. Well, let me tell you something. My hometown, if I can get Shaggy Noodle out of here so I can see, my hometown is just right around the corner from the Ohio State Reformatory. My grandfather worked as a part-time guard at the Ohio State Reformatory. My former husband, who was the Navy commander's stepfather, worked as a counselor at the Ohio State Reformatory. I've been there 3 times on ghost hunts, and you talk about crazy. But it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Hello. And you've heard me talk about Malabar Farm. the Ohio State Reformatory. And if you look, if you want to know who that is, Shawshank Redemption is the Ohio State Reformatory. And that was a time. And Morgan Freeman, is that his name? Yeah, Morgan Freeman. Isn't that, yeah, that's the guy that played Red, wasn't it? I think so. I can't remember. Anyway, Morgan Freeman, I think. I don't know. Y'all know me. Y'all know. He was divorced then, and he brought his horse and the horse for his daughter and him to Malabar Farm, where the beginning of Shawshank Redemption was filmed in what's called the Doris Duke Woods, and is extremely haunted around there. Nice people. Very, very nice. So I was lucky enough to go to the premiere of the Shawshank Redemption. And that was at the Mansfield Theater, downtown Mansfield, Ohio, and it was packed. And it was fantastic. The stars were there. It was just wonderful. And I could take you right down, you know, where Red leaves on the bus, and you go through that little part of Shawshank Redemption, and he's going down the country road, and it says this sign, it says, Butler. My aunt and uncle used to live in that farmhouse that was really close to the road. So yeah, hello. When I tried out for, because they had years ago, they had these things with Turner Classic Movies, and I got to do a screen test, step in front of a fireplace with a chair and talk about the Shawshank Redemption and Malabar Farm. But I will tell you also about Malabar Farm is where Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart were married. And my grandparents happened to work at Malabar Farm for a gentleman by the name of Louis Bromfield at the time that Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall came there to get married. And there were all kinds of stars that would go there. And my grandfather loved Humphrey Bogart. And Louis Bromfield, who was the owner of this, is now a state, you know, and they have AI and all this other, it's a big farm. And so that's when I went on to try out for Turner Classic Movies. I tied in the Shawshank Redemption to Malabar Farm to Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. I don't know what happened. I didn't get chosen, but I thought I gave a great presentation. And I wish I had that, because you would see me standing there going, hello, my name is Zelda Kelly with Turner Classic Movies. Wham, wham. Okay, Mazel is right. It was wonderful. So my grandfather, one of the things that Louis Bromfield did was any movie star, and Shirley Temple would come there. Oh my gosh, the lightning. Wolfie. Shirley Temple. There were all kinds of stars that would go to Malabar Farm. I have a picture. I have some pictures of me at Malabar Farm. And one of the rules was that you could come and stay there, but you had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you had to do the farm chores with the rest of the people, with the rest of the farmhands. Well, Humphrey Bogart was up at 4:30 every morning. My grandfather loved Humphrey Bogart, said that Humphrey Bogart was one of the big workers. He would roll up his sleeve, get out there. He and my grandpa said you would have never known he was a movie star. He would get out there and he would work and shovel the manure and do everything else. And of course, Lauren Bacall didn't like that. She was a young lady. She was about, I don't know, 20 some years younger than Bogey. And my grandfather couldn't stand her. He said because she cussed worse than any sailor going. And you never heard anything out of my grandfather's mouth in a bad way. Never. My grandparents never. Hello. But he couldn't stand her. And every time she would come out of the house, because her chores would be to feed the chickens, because the chickens, they were, free range. They would feed the chickens and blah, blah, blah. Her job was to then go in and start cooking and make breakfast and make this and make that. She didn't like it. She thought she was a star until one day she came out and was complaining to Bogey and said, in that very deep voice, I don't want to be here. This is ridiculous. We should not have to be doing this. And Bogey said, look, this is the best thing we could be doing. They actually bought property near Malabar Farm in a little town called Lucas, Ohio. And their son, Steve, his son Stephen, or their son Stephen, who was named after the character of Humphrey Bogart played into Have and Have Not, actually has the property still there in Lucas, Ohio. So anyway, she was a big smoker, and my grandpa didn't like it. They didn't smoke, and she would leave cigarette butts all over the place. So, to each his own. But I mean, he had the stories, and my grandmother would come out because my grandmother and grandpa lived in one of the farmhouses that was still on the farm. It was a small farmhouse with my mother, who was young. So anyway, that's the story. That's the story, my darlings. That's the story. So I'm loving it. So thank you so much for being here. I don't know how I even got off on that tangent, but I think that's because I saw Ohio State Reformatory. Let's take some little things here. Hello. Do you, Julie? Okay. Are you chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo? All right. Denise, hello, my darling, a new member. Maybe I think you sort of kind of just maybe renewed. But anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Ashley, there you go. Like the Ohio State Reformatory, my friends own it. You do? Your friends own it? Well, if I ever come back, we will just have to go there, because I can tell them some stories too from way back in the day. I've got a story about my grandparents before my grandpa went to work for Malabar Farm. He was one of the part-time guards, and he worked on the farm. Ohio State Reformatory was a working farm back in the day, and they grew their own food, and they had the gardens and everything. They grew their own food, and whatever surplus, they sold it, and it was very good. Thank you so much, my darling, for becoming a member. And Samantha, look at you. Oh, look at that super sticker color. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you. So there we are. Morgan Freeman with Red. I'm pretty sure Shawshank Redemption was one of my favorite movies. I can't watch it. I cry. Oh, okay. Denise upgraded her membership. Bless you. Now, there's more manifestation videos for those of you who are true Oracle members and who want to watch the manifestation videos that are the subliminaries without ads. So if you upgrade your membership to either the Oracle or the Oracle Vault, no ads on those long videos. So there you go, my darlings. Wow, we got off of our main program tonight, didn't we? But I'm glad that I was here with you because you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. In fact, I'm going to do this. You guys are so awesome. And I thank you for being here. There you go. Big hugs. Big hugs. So I did calm down the emojis and the restrictions a little bit, okay? I thank you. Thank you. Hold on a minute. Oh, yeah, me too. That was a real event. Yeah. To watch evil stopped. Dan's energy will almost be at rest, but look, it took 11 years. 11 years. The wheels of justice sometimes turn very slow. But do you see in this particular case, and first of all, I want to grab Amy here. Thank you, my darling. Look at you. Thank you for your wonderful stories. Well, thank you for being here. Bless you. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Samantha, I didn't know this. FYI, if you don't know what to do with Google Play Points, they can become super stickers for Lady. Well, thank you. Not only that, I want to tell you this. If you are watching on your mobiles, you'll see a little button that says hype. It does not cost you anything. Hype the videos of True Oracle and this channel, please. Hype, because what that means is it gives us stars. And what that will do is it pushes us out into the algorithm. Because, I'm on the way to 12,000 subscribers, but I need to get up there. 20,000, 30, 50,000. Thank you, Roxy. I know you have been, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. So you guys are awesome. Hold on. It's okay, Jerry. I got your text. I love it. Thank you. Oh, we have a severe storm warning. Thanks for telling us. Let me see. There we go. Okay, I'm caught up. Somebody just sent me a Venmo to your favorite grifter, and I had no idea who it's from, and I'll send you a message when it's over. Thank you so much. Now, should we finish some stories, or are you ready to just say good night and whatever? If you want to finish some stories, put a 1 in the chat. The body has a sweet side to him. We just got to get used to him, and I'm going to send him a little love. He came out a little on the harsh side. So while we were reading and getting the impact statements, I was just patting him on the head and saying, calm down, body. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. And he did. But quite frankly, I think it's very and extremely cool because, like I said, I don't want to work our mods to death. I want them to enjoy our streams. And if you haven't thought about becoming a member of this channel on House of Zelda, that really is the name of this channel. Seeing Crime is actually a series, but it is House of Zelda. And if you want to help me keep this channel going, that helps me. YouTube has become almost a full-time gig. Seriously. And I love it. And I'm loving it. Thank you so much. Well, there you go, my darlings. And if you need to go, I appreciate it, Amy. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So you know what? Nightbot, did you see my ask? Thanks. I don't know if it saw your ask. Let me see. Where is your ask? What did you ask for, my darling? I don't see what you did. We're just getting used to him. We're just getting used to him. But you know, the idea, we're going to continue with some stories, but the ideas of being here and seeing this, I'm just going to say one more thing and then we'll get back into the stories because the stories are really good. And I knew we were going to get a verdict, and why I didn't get so upset, I don't know. But that's amazing. So what does anybody know what time they went into verdict watch? What time did the jury start deliberating? It was 4 something, wasn't it? 4 something. Hi, Sherry. We heard, and we saw. We saw. Bless you and hello. But maybe I don't know what you're talking about, Sherry. I don't know. Verdict watch started around 4. Okay. 4:20. I knew my Sherry would know because she has been on this Adelson case. Adelson. I call it Adderson because it's like a little viper, snake, adder. Oh, wish directly. I asked the Nightbot if the link he put up would send the wish list directly to you. If you want the Amazon wish list, it just give it a second because it'll come around again. So it's on an automatic thing. 4 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you, Jersey, on Amazon. Okay. Keep watch. It'll come back in the chat. Either that or it's in the show notes. 4 hours, 15. It doesn't. Yes, it mails it to me. Amazon gets to me. If you go on there and you do get something, it comes directly to me. That's correct. Another 4. Another 4. That, yeah, I got to tell you something. Those dice, when they come out, hello. 4 on 4. So it was the 4th, and it took 4 hours. Charlie's verdict took 3 hours. Hold on a minute. Charlie's verdict took 3 hours. Georgia Kappelman thought verdict watch take less time than Charlie. Charlie was 3 hours. Donna took 3 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah, y'all need to, I did not watch it from the beginning. I didn't see any of Charlie. And I only popped in when Melanie Little streamed it one day last week. And that's the thing. And then I thought, oh, I need to see this. Grandma doing time. So, and in the cards, if you didn't see that video that I put out yesterday, it showed that she was going to try to do something to herself. And then when the judge said, oh, we better keep, she's going to try to unalive herself. Hello. Rewatched Katie's second try. Wow, this is just amazing. So Mr. Markel, wow. Getting up and saying, oh, I'm not going. I'm here. We're talking about this. I want to just end this, and then we'll get back into this scary stories. I do have a reading. Oh, and by the way, for those of you, give me a second. For those of you, my darlings, give me a second. Ashley, bless you, my darling. You're so generous. Thank you so much, my darling. For those of you who have ordered videos from me, my apologies that I'm running behind. YouTube has done a little thing, my darlings. My darlings has done a little thing and trying to translate my videos into foreign languages. And it does my speaking voice in a foreign language, as in Hindi. So I've been trying to get that like cut off there. I think I'm finally got it. And then you'll be receiving your videos tomorrow, hands down. Hello. And I think it's operator error, but it's okay. Well, Sherry, I've been doing all the things. YouTube is helping me. I did all the things. I got it. I did all the things. Thank you so much. But YouTube has had to step in and help me from behind the scenes. And it's not on my end in YouTube studio. It is on their end. Because I undid and I did and I undid and I did. So there we go. So all is well. So I just wanted to let you know. Oh, it was, some of them have been in Portuguese, and you should hear. Portuguese and whatever. It's kind of funny, but I don't think anybody wants videos of me talking in Portuguese. All right. You like my Dutch? Mein Deutsch is not very good these days. No, I'm not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. Poor Jeff, honey. I want to see this. During Jeff's testimony, I yelled out loud, "Run, Jeff, like you stole something." Right. Imagine Annie and her partner. Didn't that crack you up, Miss Annie? Out, going to the airport, calling her back like they're reeling fish back in on a line. She should have just kept going. Jeff, yeah. She ruined him, didn't she? That whole family. Who will get the next arrest? Well, I believe it'll be Wendy, and this is why. I think, oh, really? Okay, Rosebud. But I don't know a stitch of it, and the AI of YouTube will actually translate and will put another voice on top of mine, and but I think we're fine now. And I've had to start putting the videos from the True Oracle website. So I'm just not getting caught up. Okay. How wonderful would it be to hear you speak Italian? I can sing Italian. I can't speak it. I need lessons. I need lessons. Thank you. Thank you. I keep getting, it's severe weather stuff on my phone. Hello. I can sing French and I can sing Italian, but I can't, speaking it is not very good. Guilty on all 3 charges. Goodbye, Donna. Oh, Donna. Yeah. Ruth and Phil spoke of the tragedies of their children. I know it was sad. We saw it, Sherry. It was so sad. So sad. Bless them. Bless them. Bless them. Well, okay, so this is what I want to tell you. In the closing arguments, they're doing some what they call predictive programming. Okay. Did you see how many times they put Wendy's picture up alongside Donna? Predictive programming. They're planting that seed. And Wendy, girl, if you're watching this, girl, you better really, really liar up. Oh, there's a big crack. Okay. Yeah, it was all over the place. It was all over the place. So I just want you to know that they're predicting what they're doing next. Donna, Wendy, Donna, Wendy. And they kept mentioning Charlie, the trio. And if you hear the word trio, that's exactly what's going to be happening, because I'm going to tell you something. Wasn't there something about a conspiracy? Conspiracy to commit red rum? 2 or more can cause a conspiracy, in my opinion. Not a lawyer. They're planting the seed. And believe me, if I were Wendy, I'd be going, I didn't know a thing. She was pushing me. She always pushed me. She hid things from. At this point, I would say anything. I'm serious. Because of my boys, I would want to protect my boys. Wendy is trying to take something out of the playbook from Rob. And that is the problem. Okay, Terry, are you having a tough time upgrading? Here's what you do. If you are on an iPhone, you can't go in through the app. You have to go in through the browser, or you have to click on the link that's in the show notes. Okay? There may be a link. Yeah, you may want to do it on a desktop, a laptop. You can't do it on your iPad or your iPhone if that's where you're trying to do it from. If you are on an iPhone watching the mobile, then what you'll have to do is go into a browser, not into the YouTube app. You go into the browser and then you click the link and then you can upgrade, my darling. Powdered sugar donuts. I don't know about you, but that made me hungry for apple cider and donuts. Powdered sugar donuts. Hello? Oh, I'm going to tell you before we get back into stories. Guess what I've been doing, my darlings? I've been recipe testing. And guess. Thank you, Sherry. And guess what I made yesterday? I made ketchup. And it is the best ketchup that I've had in a long time. So I'm gearing up for a little something. Gearing up. Ketchup. And some mustard. But it's not really homemade, but it's kind of doctored up and it's delicious. All right. You're welcome, Linda. Okay, so Deanna 61. Hello, my darling. Thank you for being here. I love that picture. Thank you. That profile. That he reminds me of Mr. Reed. So handsome. Love it. You churched it up, as they say in South. Yeah, I did church it up. I did church it. So this is gonna be good. I think there was a different white powder involved. Yeah. Yeah, you hear that up there in Canton? All right. I made ketchup yesterday. And the moment that I tasted it, I got transported back to Ohio immediately into the 1970s. Because when I grew up on the farm, my mother had a garden. We had chickens, so we had eggs. We had cows, so we had milk, and then we sold the milk off to a dairy or off to a processor. So my mother baked all of our bread, all of our biscuits. She made cream, she made sour cream, cream cheese, ricotta, mozzarella, and she made butter. Did I say butter? That's the most important thing. She made ketchup. The only thing she did not make was mustard. We bought it. But as far as we made all of our jams, elderberry, strawberry, peach, plum, blackberry, because we had all those bushes on the farm. Yes. And I'm telling you, that ketchup, I could have sat down and just ate a bowl of that ketchup. So when I was growing up, I mean, other than going to school, because they didn't have a lot of condiments at school or whatever, we never ate out. We were at home. And my mother was like the domestic goddess. She cooked and did it all. Hello. And it was wonderful. And in the summertime, if we got hungry, we went and got into the garden and got a tomato and ate it like a bloody apple. And it was the best. Oh. That was the sharpest lightning I've seen in a while. Ooh. I love it. Anyway, you never answered cow tipping. We didn't do the cow tipping because it was dangerous. We got toilet papered. We got toilet papered a lot. And where I'm from, if you got toilet papered, it meant the guys liked you. But guess what? We would have to go and clean it up. We had an old wagon. I mean, it was like an old wagon. And one time, the boys from school came over. They took the wagon and put it up on the barn. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Nobody heard them. Hello. Yeah, it was loud. Ah. So, yeah, it's dark. It's been here. Wait a minute. There's a thunderstorm statement. Let me see what the statement is. Do we have a statement? And don't forget, my darling, we have a lunar eclipse and a blood moon that are coming on the 7th. I'm going to talk to you about this. Oh. There was a 6.0 magnitude earthquake that just was reported, but I don't think it's around us. Okay. I don't know where the thunderstorm statement is, but that's okay. I'm here. Dark and stormy night. Let me tell you a little something about this, my darlings. The new Conjuring movie that is coming out. I don't like those types of movies because they're so fake. Please. Come out with me sometime on a haunt if you want to get the bejeezy scared out of you. You know, like standing in a silo, hearing things, tapping, rapping, and then you go out and you hear the footsteps that are close to you that your flashlight saw the steps in the ground. You hear footsteps there walking around you. Listen, some of the things that I did. I would kick myself. I would kick me. If I took the younger, I would kick me. Oh, do you live by Mel? Okay, Ashley. Well, because I was just, you didn't know back then. It was dangerous back then. Dangerous. And sometimes you just didn't know, and you landed up in a house that had a portal, and you just stand there and go, wow. So, now, moving on to the EVP store. Oh, Conjuring. Sorry, Conjuring. I don't like those movies because they're fake. Sorry. And the Conjuring house and whatever, I got shunned by the paranormal community because I debunked that story. That story about that pastor's wife and all this other, and unaliving these people in that house. It's not true. And there's proof that it's not true. Hello, everyone. Welcome when you come in. Welcome, welcome. Please give me a little bump. And the paranormal community doesn't like it because, well, it messes up their gig. So the Conjuring people, well, listen, I've been writing a book for years, but the Conjuring people, the woman who plays Lorraine Warren, has been getting scratched, or was getting scratched and bruised on the set. Why? Because they're conjuring stuff while they're conjuring the movie. Some of the stuff that they're doing on there, like playing around with this EVPs and the Ouija boards and all this other stuff, well, this dimension over here does not know. Look at that. Hello. The dimension over here does not know if you're making a movie or not. It cannot discern whether this is real or you're making a movie or whatever. Did I learn to listen to my grandmother's Sassy's advice after the portal house and the pie experience? Kind of. But then when I got older and I moved away, got married to the Navy man and moved all over, she wasn't around really to be. So it wasn't like I had her on, because back then, everything was long distance. So you couldn't just pick up the phone, and it cost you one of these and one of these to even call. So I didn't talk that much, but I would tell her, I would write and tell her about things. But yeah, they're conjuring things while they're conjuring. And then, I don't know if you know this or not, but Matt Rife, I think that's his name, who bought the Annabelle and the Warren Museum in Connecticut, is going to be charging $2,000 to go and stay there. When I tried buying the Amityville Horror House on Amityville, Long Island, Amityville, New York, I guess, on Long Island, my idea was I was going to keep it vacant, put just a few little goodies in there, as in things to sit on, a table, some lamps, and then I was going to put cameras in every room that could be, this was my idea. I'm just going to tell it to you now because who knows. I was going to put cameras in it to be monitored 24/7, whether it was vacant or not. And then I was going to say, here is the, I will sell a subscription to the camera if you want to sit and watch it for 24/7. And it was just going to be like nominal a month that you could tune into the Amityville house and see if anything was rocking and rolling on the inside, whether there was people there or not. And then if paranormal groups wanted to come in, a nominal fee to come in as long as they cleaned up and they kept things peaceful and everything else. Not more than $500 for a group of people for 2 nights. I think that's more than fair. A lot of these places that I've gone to is $250 to $300 for one person. What? Hello. And then they say, oh, that includes snacks. And you get a Rucky can of store brand pop and some store brand chips. Ooh. So that's what I was going to do. And keep a refrigerator in there stocked of, you have goodies in there. But that's what I was going to do. And then when you had a paranormal group in there, you turn the cameras off as respect to them and let them do their investigation. That was my plan. And who knows what can happen, because Zell still just may do that. You just never know. It may be another, it certainly is not going to be the Amity house, because I can't get those people to cut and run. I can't get those people to go. That's okay. That's their home. And they want a cool $1 million for it. And my $1 million ain't that cool. So you never know. You never know when Zell could buy a haunted house and do something with it. You just never know. That could be in Zell's future. We just don't know. So anyway, would I spend $2,000 to go and stay in this place that makes the Warren family angry now? Well, I go to any of these commercialized places that are putting pictures of the victims on things like axes and weapons. No. It's funny, Linda, that you say that. Did I take Salt Shaker to the garden? We had a back porch that had a little cabinet in it. And the back porch, we had salt and pepper, because we would have, pardon me, look at what you do to mommy's nose, girly. Pardon me. We would do, oh, there's my candy. There's my candy. Everybody, it was Candy's birthday. It's Candy's birthday. And unfortunately, one of the readings that I had for Candy was, it was translated in Portuguese. So here we go, Candy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Candy. Happy birthday to you. And many more. There we go. Got a tickle nose. Because somebody's making a tickle. I wonder who this could be. See, she's fuzzy. I don't know if you can see, but she's fuzzy. And it's these little hairs that are like, tickle, tickle, mama. So there you are, my darling Candy. Thank you so much. Next week. Oh, it's next week. Oh, okay. Well, we'll sing it again next week. We'll sing it again next week if you're here. I felt so bad because I've got all these reading. Anyway. I'm going to tell you this story about the doll. We've heard enough of EPPs. I'm going to tell you a story about a doll, and then I'm going to go. Because the storm is starting to hello. I guess I'm lucky I haven't called in for my reading yet. I ordered 3 questions. Honey, I sent it to you yesterday. My darling, I sent it to you yesterday. You better you need to check your spam folder, because it was either yesterday or the day before I sent it to you. So my dear groovy Cheryl. So there you go. So you need to check and write back to me if you haven't gotten it, and I'll resend it to you again because I did send it to you. I got yours. Yeah. Love you back. Okay, I'm going to tell you about a doll. And if you hear laughing, my son is actually playing. And my son has promised that he will come and stay. He does not want to be on camera. I don't blame him. And did you want to jump down or something? Or what is this bucking bronco stuff that we're doing? Okay. He's laughing, he's working, but he promises he will come and do, what is that guy? Walken, Christopher Walken. You need more cowbell. Okay. So don't be spooked if you hear laughing in the background. It's not, I'm ready to get my Halloween decorations out. All right, my darlings, I'm going to tell you about the story about the doll baby and little Zelda. And this is why I don't do dolls. We were the typical American family. My mother got divorced from my bio dad when I was a little chicken. And this man who always loved my mother, come rain or come shine, proposed to my mom and adopted my sister and myself. I think I was a year old when that happened. Oh, hold on. Miss Behaven's daughter turned 18 on Friday. We'll have to sing. Let me know her name. We'll sing to her in a minute. So we lived, Dad worked for a little place called General Motors. And I called him Dad because he was the only dad that I knew. And so my grandparents, my grandmother, the one that I always talk about, my grandpa, whose birthday was on the 2nd, 2 days ago, happy birthday, Gramp, was, they would always go on these big trips. I mean, they would go on hunting trips out to Wyoming and they would go, here and there. Now, we lived in a little house, typical American family, little white house with a little white picket fence. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, basement, kitchen, and my mother felt like she just had won the lottery, and we were very happy there. So my grandparents went off on this little vacay. They came back. You're welcome. They came back, and they had presents for us. Now, it wasn't Little House on the Prairie, but it was a little joint. And I look at it now and I think, how could we even have survived in that place? It was little. So my grandparents would always come back and get my sister and I gifts. Well, this time they came back and they had these little bride dolls, bride as in wedding bride dolls. Now, I really didn't know that much about, that sort of thing. I mean, I think I was 3, maybe 4. Chloe. Okay, well, time out. We're going to sing to Chloe now. Get ready, everybody. Here we go, Misbehaving Chloe. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chloe. Happy birthday to you and many more. Yay, Chloe. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Young lady. Wow. I remember when I was 18 in the 1600s. So we lived there. My grandparents brought back these dolls. Now, my dad built these shelves. They were wall shelves that would hang on the walls. My sister and I shared a bedroom, and we had twin beds in the bedroom, and we had our wall shelf, like here was our bed, head of the bed up here, the foot of the bed down here, and the wall shelf was hanging on the wall. So when we went to bed at night, we could look at our shelves. So I had never seen, oh, that's good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes, I'm so super famous. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Okay, well, I'll take that, though. Thank you, my darling. So they brought these, and my sister, the dolls were like beautiful. And they never, I mean, if you moved them, their eyes would blink and, whatever. You could move their arms or whatever. But, this was in the 60s. And I think I was like 3, 4, maybe 4. I think I was 3. Enough that I could remember. So every night I would go to bed because I had never seen anything like that before. Mom put all our toys that we couldn't play with, the ones that we had to keep for whatever reason. We had to keep them because we just never knew. Because, like we got Disney watches that one year, and, I got Cinderella. My sister got Snow White. We weren't allowed to wear them. We could only put them on the shelf. Okay. So, and now I don't know where mine is. So that made a lot of sense. So I would go to bed every night and I would look at her and I just would say, and sometimes in my mind, sometimes I would look at her and I would say, "You're so beautiful. I hope I look like you one day when I get married." I mean, she had this like roll set, right? She had that roll set going and little pearls. She had a little pearl wristlet on, a little pearl necklace. Oh, and her little pearl dangly earrings, a little veil. She was a very pretty little thing. A little lipstick. Hello. Can't go out of the house without lipstick. And she had little high heels on. She was just adorable. I can't even remember what my sister's doll looked like. So I would sit there every night, lay there every night, and just look at her and say, "You're just so beautiful. You're so gorgeous. I hope I look like you one day." I would just go through this and then eventually just falling asleep. Now, our house, I'm going to set up the center stage, was in this wasn't really like a little, it was in a neighborhood, but it wasn't, our neighbors were not close. Okay, it was not close. It was, "Don't leave me, Mitchell. Don't leave me, darling." They weren't close, but we had neighbors close enough that if we ever needed anything, whatever. Now, my grandparents always lived like within a 5-mile radius, never anything more. Pardon me. One of these days, I'll stop itching my nose. Maybe I'll shave my baby. Pardon me. I made noise. I'm so sorry. Thank you. So, my dad would go to work at General Motors. He would leave at like 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. And so this had to happen between 2 and 3 a.m. I think that's what my mom said. So this one night, I'm laying there. "You're so beautiful. You're so," and I'm not kidding. I swear to God, and there are times I choke up when I'm even saying this. That doll turned She literally turned and looked down at me and winked. I'm going to tell you, there was one little girl who never knew fear. I never knew fear. That was the moment that I knew fear. You want to talk about a B-movie scream? No kidding. A B-movie, you know those screams, those shrill screams? Baby darlings, I came up out of that bed. I mean, it was just, I could not. I was shaking crazily. And my sister jumps up and she's like, Zell, what's wrong? Zell, I couldn't speak. I was in shock. My mother, I'm not kidding, there was fire on the carpet. No, not really. I'm just saying she got there so fast that she just burned away on the carpet to come and get me. And I grabbed onto her. And I mean, you could not get my fist. I was like grabbing onto her. My dad walks in there and, typical dad, what the hell's going on? What, it was like, oh my God. So anyway, hello. Oh, this is the good part's coming. Hang tight. So I'm in the living room. Mom turns the lights on. Dad turns on. Kathy, I'm sorry. Hello, I just mentioned my sister. We all sat in the living room. And I could not stop screaming. So what does my mother do? She calls my grandparents because she knows the grandparents, hello. She tells them, you could hear me screaming in the background. My mom could not even hang up the phone. My grandparents were like, ah. My grandmother shows up with curlers in her hair, scarf around her head. Grandpa, they come running in the house. I'm calm enough. I grab on to my grandpa and I tell him what's going on. Well, there goes the men. Grandpa and Dad go to the bedroom. I would not even walk in there with that doll in there. They came out. My grandpa had it like he was carrying the Hope Diamond. He came out with, he came out like this, like, something like he was going to be on a TV documentary. And he came out holding this doll. My dad takes this, I don't know, garbage can or garbage bag rather. And I had to watch this ceremoniously. Puts this garbage can, I'm sorry, puts this, hold on just a minute. Give me a break. Hello. Okay. I'm live now. Oh, I just wrote to a man that I'm loving. And I meant to write, I'm live, and put love. That'll be an explanation in a minute or two. Okay. So anyway, I watched this ceremony going on, and we had the garbage cans out by the end of the road. So I had to watch them walk out. My dad lift up the lid to the garbage can and put this doll on the top. Now, mind you, it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning. The neighborhood is asleep, all except for our little house. So, they're looking in the house, looking at me, like this, looking up above this sofa, looking out the window, and they slam Dad slams on these metal garbage cans. Hello, you remember those? Slamming down. Well, thank you, Sam. She got a drink. got a little snack, and she's back for more. So everything calms down. Do not do that on me. Everything calms down. My grandma says, let the girls come over to our house for a couple of days until things get calmed down. So Mom goes in, and of course we thought it was a big deal to drive in the car at 4 o'clock in the morning with our pajamas on. Like we were, that was a big deal. And this was during a time where you didn't wear seatbelts. So my sister sat between my grandma and grandpa, and I was sitting on grandma's lap. Hello, I'd like to see that now. She was holding on. I mean, everybody was just like, I was really in shock. So it's early enough that my grandfather had to, and he actually worked in Mansfield, Ohio, at the Mansfield Tire. And they manufacture tires like Goodyear. So he had to get ready for work. So my grandmother decides, as they say in the South, that she's going to womp up this huge, great big breakfast to feed Grandpa and us, because she knew that we would have to go back to bed because, chickens up that late, you're going to have to get some rest. They lived in a weird kind of haunted house where you could hear a woman in the basement walking in high heels. So it's like I went from one situation to another. So we eat our breakfast. We're sitting there. I just didn't know if I could talk or not. Everybody was trying to do their best to keep me distracted and not thinking about it. All this, no, a woman, my relatives has last names Mansfield. Oh, nice, Cheryl. So we ate our breakfast. We went to bed. We get up, next day it was okay, whatever. We go back home, and my mother and my dad were they were like, hello. My dad thought I was going Looney Tunes and wanted to take me to the hospital to get checked out, as in, hello. When my grandparents heard that, my grandpa said, absolutely not. There's something else there. And we've noticed it for a long time. And this will probably be the first of many things that she sees and experiences. Well, my dad, being the son of a Methodist minister, did not believe any of this. In later years, we lived in that haunted farm that I told you about. And there you go. So I did not realize that I came this close to being sent away for a while. So, oh, how dare you, got a birthday. All right, we'll sing in a minute. So hold on, my darlings. Give me a second. I got to mute for a minute. I'm back. I had to say, please turn off the crock pot because I made beef stew and homemade cornbread tonight for dinner. So Hercules is getting some, and I thought it's probably been in there cooking a good while. So anyway, my darlings, I came this close to going, and my grandparents stepped in and said, absolutely not, no way. And my mother, oh my goodness, my mother was like, oh my. So, okay, so that calmed down. Now, stay tuned because there is a rest of the story. But it was a few weeks later. We were in a hardware store that my aunt, my dad's sister, was working. And just a minute, I have to put this person down because she's tickling me. Goodbye. We were in a hardware store where my aunt was working. There was a woman who came up to me, and this hardware store wasn't any bigger than a minute. And it was one of these where you walked in and then you had to go down a few steps to get into the hardware. So when you walked in, you could almost see the whole store. And then the cash registers were in the back, and then you had to walk toward the front. So we walk in there, and of course, my mother always and hung onto my sister and I like there was just no tomorrow. And I mean, I understand now, hello, why she did that. But when we walked in there, they were busy talking. You know how it goes. And I managed to kind of skirt away. Well, there in the one aisle was a woman that was standing there in all black. She had a black hat on, and she looked gray. She looked gray. Her eyes were gray. She looked gray. Her lips were gray. I mean, she was just gray, a gray grandma. She was just gray. Her hair was white, but she looked like she had, I don't know. She comes up to me and bends over like this and looks at me. I'm thinking, oh, dear God in heaven. I'm little now. I'm like, what, 3 or 4? She turned over and looks down at me and she says, I know you. Hi, Zelda. You have the name of your grandmother. Well, now what happened? That B movie scream came right out again. And I'm not kidding. It rang through that store. And I mean, it was like an alarm to my mother because we had just been through this. And you could hear the footsteps running through the store, and they found me. And I'm just standing there like, I mean, I could see, I believe that my spirit left my body. And hello. So, oh, just a minute. Sammy, no, messing with the light. So I'm standing there. They grab me, take me up to the front, sit me near the cash register. I'd like to see them do that now. Sit me there on the counter by the cash register. Come here, sister. And what happens? I finally get to be able to talk, and they ask me what's going on. And this woman had a corsage. It was kind of a white, orchidy looking corsage. No, thank you. I hope I didn't get anything on me, dear jumpin' jollies. Did I? No. Can't be too careful about this. Anyway, so they're asking me to identify because people, the manager, my sister, not my sister, my aunt ran up to I'm looking to make sure I didn't have anything on me. She's like, hello, bless you, Sammy. Runs up to the door and locks it because whoever was in it, they wanted to make, it was just like muckmire mayhem and chaos that ensued. We go running, and do me a favor if you're coming in, just please do me a favor. Gesundheit, Krankheit. No. Yeah. Bump and subscribe because I love you. So chaos ensues. We go racing up, looking. Finally, they asked me, describe this woman. And I'm telling him what she looked like. And my dad's face went white. And he's looking at my aunt. And my aunt is looking at him. Now, my mother didn't know because, they'd only been married a few years, maybe 3 or 4 years. Seriously, I described my dad and his sister's aunt, who had been buried for like 10 years. And my aunt said she remembered exactly what she was wearing. Because back in the old days, when somebody was buried, you buried them in black. You wore black, no makeup, no nothing. It was a very somber thing. It's not like where you see now. I saw a picture of somebody, they had a funeral and the gentleman who had passed away was in a race car sitting in it. What? Anyway, so I had described their aunt who had passed away 10 years earlier. I wasn't even born yet. My mom and him my mom didn't even know the family yet. So on the way home, my dad was very quiet. And I could hear them talking. And I could hear my mom crying at night and saying, she's not going anywhere. Because my dad wanted to send me to, because he thought it would look bad on the family with all this stuff going on. He wanted to send me to a military school. Military school at 4. Hello. Wanted to, whatever, until my mother said, look, here, we're going to do the big D if you don't stop. Enough is enough. So it stopped, and he was scared of me. He didn't come around me that much. He was scared of me. And so later on, everything had calmed down again. And, they wanted pictures. Oh, my sister could be a turd. And she still had her bride doll. I did not. And they wanted to take pictures. And she brought out and they had us together. And she brought out her bride doll and was holding it like this right up near me. And I wish I could find that picture. I actually looked for it the other day. I wanted to show my son. You could see I was in complete horror standing there, having my picture taken with this doll. And from that moment on, everybody thought I was a little crazoid, but I would ask for horses, those little movable horses and everything else that you could get when you were little. Fire trucks. One of my favorite things was a fire truck. My grandparents for Christmas got me a barn. Hello, did I love that? It even had a little corn crib with these little ears of corn that you put in the corn. I played for hours and hours with my farm animals and all this other stuff. And, I had cat-like dolls, stuffed stuff, whatever. No dolls, no. My sister had them. She was not allowed to have them near me. So, yeah, things that don't talk or move. I had a Mr. Ed. Everybody remember what Mr. Ed? I had a Mr. Ed puppet. Now, that was cool because you could pull a string and it would go, I'm Mr. Ed. And what I would do is my mother gave me an old broom and I would put that head of that horse puppet on that broom and I would ride around the backyard for all day. I wish I could still do that. I probably would if I had a horse. You all could take a picture. I'd be riding out in the parking lot with my horse head on a broom. I could either fly off or ride the horse. Wouldn't that be funny? No ghost figures on the little, a horse, of course, Wilbur, right? So it became very evident. And that's when they realized that there was more going on with Zelda than meets the eye. And that's because, my grandmother and grandpa had. And so when I would go to their house, we would talk about ghost stories and paranormal things in a way that it wouldn't scare me. So that way I kind of knew that there was more to this than just hello. So that's how I got. And then in later years, and you can believe my dad had an absolute herd of cows, that because, it seriously got to the point where I would be sitting in the living room watching Captain Kangaroo, and I would say, Mommy, you better answer the phone. And the phone would not be ringing until about 10 seconds later. And it would be my grandma. Or, I can remember one Sunday morning getting up early before church and playing downstairs. We had a 2-story house, playing downstairs. And I just knew there was impending doom coming. Somebody's scratching over here. I just knew impending doom was coming. And I went upstairs and woke up my dad. And I said, my aunt, the same aunt. I said, Aunt Lynn, her daughter is in trouble. She's not here. She's in trouble. And he was so mad at me. And he said, what? Can you get down, please? Everybody. And they're like, what in the heck? It was not more than 10 minutes later. I went downstairs. I was in trouble. Hello. When wasn't I in trouble? I went downstairs. The phone is ringing. My dad came down, wall phone, came down, answered the phone. It was my aunt. He looked at me and dropped the phone. And he's like, oh my God. And he went upstairs. There's the phone dangling on the wall. Hello. Can everybody oh boy. Let's just knock things over. There's the wall, the receiver, flick, flick, flick on the wall. My sister goes over and goes, hello? And she could hear crying on the other end and going, hello, hello, where's your dad? My sister goes halfway up the steps and says, are you coming back down? Aunt so-and-so's on the phone. I hear my mom upstairs crying. Dad comes down and answers the phone. He said, I'm sorry. I've got stuff going on. Okay. Hangs up the phone, comes over, grabs me, takes me upstairs and says, tell your mother what you told me. And I did. And she looked at my dad and said, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. And he said, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. The reality is, that was my aunt. My cousin, who was her daughter, was 16 years old and was out with her friends. They were going up on Route 250 to Norwalk, Ohio. They weren't drinking, but they hit a tree head on. Everyone in the car was okay, but it broke my cousin's neck, and she passed away instantly. And that funeral was so horrible. I had never seen anything like that in my life. Nothing. So they were very careful at keeping me away because, when you're in a young age like that, it's kind of like, okay, we've opened the door on Zell. Let's just go. Woo. She was gorgeous. The only thing that I can remember her was over at their house when we went to visit. And she would sit in there and she would look, she had this the vanity, old-fashioned vanity with a great big circle round mirror in front. Remember those, ladies? Big circle mirror and the vanity. And she was sitting there. She had raven black hair. Black. It was gorgeous, shiny. And she was sitting there, had a brush, and was just brushing. And I was in awe of her. I thought she was just gorgeous. And she could see me, and she would look in the mirror at me and smile. And that's the only thing that I remember of her. And then when this happened, it was horrific. As I grew up and grew older, there was more and more things like this happened. And then I, for a very long time, grew away from my dad and grew closer to my grandparents, but everything was fine. But my parents ultimately got divorced when I was 16. That was a happy day for me. But my grandmother, when I was probably about 13, 14, would go over to her house and I would sneak into the drawer where the Gypsy Witch cards were. And I'd say, let's sit down. Now we would play the card game. My sister and my grandparents and I would play this card game called euchre. I love playing euchre. Nobody remembers how to play euchre. If you play euchre, put it in the chat because I love playing euchre. Euchre was the game. So we would play euchre all the time. And as I would play euchre, it would be almost that the playing cards would feel weird. I would just get like, and I would say, Grandma, after the games were done, I would say, Grandma, this is Shaggy Noodle. Euchre is EUCHERE. Yes, from Michigan. Yes, hello. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you. Euchre. I love euchre. It's kind of a regional game. It's like, Midwesterner. Oh, and it's so fun. You use the 9s, 9, 10, and the royals and ace. It's very fun. And you have trump cards. You have all this, is whatever. So anyway, yeah, it's a Midwestern game. It is. It's a lot of fun. A lot of Germans play it. A lot of, that's where I learned. So we would play this and it was just so fun. But I started thinking, there's some things with the cards. So my grandmother started telling me a lot. And then in the summer, we would go spend a lot with my grandparents. And that's when everybody would come to her house. And these women boo-hooing, even back in the 1970s, were boo-hooing about, oh, this neighbor woman that just moved in is out with my husband, and he's working on the combine, and she brought him cookies, and are they going to have an affair? So life doesn't change, my darling, just your environment. So I would sit there and listen to all this. My grandmother was an excellent card reader. And my grandfather was a water witch. I don't like that name, but he would douse and found a good many of the wells in that area and a lot of places on that farm, on the farms. So there you go. And he found some on Malabar Farm when he worked for Louis Bromfield when he worked there. So there we are, my darlings. There's the story. There's the scary stories. And I will tell you, my darlings, this. There ain't no way that I have dolls. No, I don't do dolls. I don't go around them. I wanted to go to Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum or whatever it is in Vegas. He has the #1 attraction in Vegas. I wanted to go there because I know I'll meet him. And he has a doll room. I will pass that. In fact, the people I was supposed to go out there with said, when I didn't get to go because the big C hit in 2020, uh-oh, somebody's sick. Are you okay? Who's doing that? Was sick. And, sorry, what did I say? Was sick? Hello. Yeah, the big C happened. And I didn't get to go. I was grounded, but there were some people that were already out there and said when they passed the doll room, some of the dolls you could hear you could hear them audibly. Hello, get it out, Zelda. They would say, Zelda, where's Zelda? Oh, Zell stayed home. She ain't gone near the doll room. So there we are, my darlings. Ain't no dolls. I won't go see Robert. I won't go see Annabelle, especially. And that. What's going on, my darling? Why are you piodled? First of all, hang in there. Hold on. Did I get everybody? I think I did. Yes. Miss Jules, look at this. Look at this beauty. 10 Lady Zelda memberships. Thank you so much for your generosity, my darling. Thank you. Yeah, no. Anne Rice had a doll collection in the old orphanage, but that was before she passed. When I sat and talked to Anne when I was in New Orleans, and we were talking about Lestat, the book Lestat, an interview with a vampire, which I will be having very soon. Hello. Say hello, please. Say hello. Just say hello real loud.
Hello.
There, you got him. The man of the house.
The Judy.
Yeah, go ahead. The Jeet. That's Midwestern, isn't it? Dolls saying Zelda. Yeah, hello. Now my train of thought got derailed. Can't wait. Oh, vampire interview. Hello, yes. That vampire interview will be coming. Oh, everybody's saying hello to you and from the chat there, son. He's waving. Everybody's like, hello, Zelda's boy. Oh, listen. He loves it. Thank you, everyone, for being so kind. That's really sweet. Thank you. I've got to wait because evidently Gregor, who is his name, has he's kind of gone into a little hibernation and he will be back. This will be a podcast because, somebody said hello, Christopher. I love it. As I'm yelling into the microphone, thank you so much. He is coming out. This will be a podcast because if ever you do an interview with a vampire or with someone who is of that persuasion, I'm going to say, there's no identity. So you will hear, I don't know if he'll want me to go live on my end and he's going to talk to me. I don't think so, but it will be on his channel. And I've done a few things on his channel for him, like artwork and so forth. So, but you're going to love this because he is not, hi, Raina. He is not that type. He's not that thirsty type, I'm going to say. I'm intrigued because of the history. I'm intrigued because he is from an area close to where my ancestors are from. And I can't wait really to do that. He's supposed to be interviewing me. Oh, hold on, equal parts. Oh, everybody's saying hello to you. Hello, he says. I want to pick his brain. He is supposed to be interviewing me. However, I think it's going to be the other way around. I have questions. I want to know about the history. I know some things about that persuasion, and when oh, it's okay, my darling. If you're okay, I just want you to be okay. Wait a minute, I got so much going on here. So, all right, let's take this here. Hold on. Dregs of society neighbor. Oh my goodness, here we are. Put a cursed doll in their window facing out toward my door. Got any quick advice? The fence has had holdup after holdup. Okay. You need to get yourself some iron stakes, like iron. You know what an iron railroad tie is? Iron. As in what they use in the railroad. Those iron spike. That's what I'm trying to think. Iron spikes. You need to, let me read this again. Put cursed dolls in their windows facing out toward my door. You need to put those iron stakes on either side of the outside of your door, and nothing will get in. And it will reflect back on, and they'll have to take that down. Yes, like an iron, and you can get them. They're like a railroad spike. You can get them at the home stores, something like that. Old railroad ties. That's what you need. Salt and sage ain't gonna cut it, and crystals and all that stuff ain't gonna cut it. Because I have never been around any type of anything like that where you can hold out a crystal and say, oh, okay, cross this hematite. I've got a rose quartz. I'm bringing love. They just don't do that. I'm talking the spikes for the dolls that equal parts. So you try that. You need at least 2. In fact, I would put them in if you have a yard, like down on, nobody needs to know why they're there. You put them there. I would put one in my windows, or I would lay one. I would lay one at the top of your, how you have the door frame. I would lay one on the top of the door frame. I have something I want to share with you all. There's something I want to share with you. Put one near the windows. Yeah, whatever you've got. Yeah. I want to show you something. A horseshoe maybe, but you got to be careful because you're spinning that energy, right? So if you put up the horseshoe like this, sorry, I'm getting arthritis there. I don't know what's going on. If you put up the horseshoe, you don't want to spin that energy back out, and you don't want to spin it down. So you got to be careful. I have something I want to show you. Let me see if I can find it. Because I think that you all are going to love this. And this is a good part. This is a good time to bring this up. Hello. Oh. You walk by and then I get that old feeling. Here we are. That old feeling. Let me find it. And then I'll show you. Always knew. I too for you. All right. I have just a little talk amongst yourselves, just a little elevator music for you all till I find what I wanted to show you all. I know it's in here because I just saw it the other day and thought, oh, I'm going to show my group this. And why I didn't get it out, I don't know. Talk amongst yourselves, my darlings, and then I'm going to show you this, then we'll go. If I can't find it, then I will, I can't find it. I'll find it. I'll show it to you Saturday night. Make sure you're here Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for our Seeing Crime. We're going to be talking about cases, Donna, because listen, she's going to try to pull something. I saw it in the cards yesterday. She's going to try to pull something, and we just don't even know what it is, what it could be, where it will be. Okay, I can describe this to you. Sometimes in builders' doorways, okay, I was looking weird, but I was looking at a folder that I had brought up. Nightbot had a question. What is the Nightbot? I didn't see the Nightbot. Oh, will John send it? Oh, yeah. Listen, that Nightbot, he's really on it. I want you to know something. When I saw those closing arguments today with, in court, I mean, I felt like Stevie Nicks, remember in Edge of 17, where she just, ooh, yeah. I mean, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, yeah, just like a white-winged dove. I was ready to say hello. Now, this is what I want to tell you, and then we're going to say goodnight. We've been on here 3 hours. The builder's doors. Some of you may look at you inside your doors, you'll have panels. They're just a regular builder's door. That's all it is. Just a regular builder's door. If you look closely, there is a cross built in your door. And the reason there are crosses built in your doors, that's what they did hundreds of years ago to build the doors in there. Seriously. To build. And that's why, because when you walk from room to room, you're supposed to be protected. There is an automatic cross in your door in some of these. I have them. I'll show you a picture. Mitchell, Nightbot is not a spirit, but he is a little fellow that kind of is directed by me and will put little messages in there. So, I've had a thing with doors today, but I forget what was. Okay. Well, my darlings, have we had enough? This has been an eclectic stream for sure. And I am so glad that all of you have hung in here with me. It's been a lot of fun. I love it. I'll show you the picture of my doors. Yeah, I'll show you the picture. And then you can go, oh, I've never seen that before. Yeah. So, my darlings, I think that Donna she thought they were prepping for a hung jury. I think that's really what it was. And there for a minute, when her attorney got up, by the way, I'd love to donate her a suit. When her attorney got up and was doing the closing arguments, I thought, oh, she had a couple of really good points. I forget what they were now. It doesn't matter. But she had a couple of really, really good points. And I thought, they're looking for a hung jury. Doesn't matter. They would have kept her in custody. The only difference with Karen is because they could have, maybe, I don't think they could have revoked Karen's bond. I don't know if you heard this or not, my darlings, But let me tell, I'm tweaking my EVP since the last time, and I've been busy trying to do some other things, but I'm tweaking that, and I'm going to be working on that spirit box. Donna's attorney owns a fruit. Oh boy. I did not know that. I would have probably felt better if she showed up in overalls. You know. Because that just... Anyway. So working on that for you all. I forget what I know. See? I got distracted because I love to talk to you guys. I look at the chat and I'm thinking, oh, I forget what I was talking about. And as soon as I get off here, I'll remember it. Does anybody remember what I was talking about before I started talking about the spirit box? I know it was about maybe Donna. Oh, Karen Reed. Karen Reed. Don't know if you know this, but Cosgrove is wanting to keep both of Karen's phones because he says there's witness intimidation information in her phones and he wants them. Cosgrove, I'm telling you, buddy. Her attorney looked like Tom Petty. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Cosgrove, it's my understanding. Leave her alone. We're all saying leave her alone. But see, what they're trying to do is because they know that this big mega motion is getting ready to hit with Attorney Betterow and Attorney Bradel. And it's like, oh boy, they're wanting, see, this is all about distraction. And I don't know if you saw the invoices and statements and so forth that they spent on the CWs, sending all this money spent to nail Karen. Oh, my darlings, this is going to be. And my son, I mentioned Karen Reed the other day, and he said, my son says, Mom, you haven't talked about Karen in a few days. So is something going on? I mean, bless his heart. There for a while, he was thinking she was going to be coming here for Thanksgiving because she was just constantly here. Cosgrove, Grandpa, please drop it. Lost his poor meatball because the election is coming. And you wait and see, because you can believe that I do not believe, if that makes sense, that Meatball is going to be running again. And I believe that as soon as a new person gets in there, they're going to hit the road running with John and open up a new investigation. And hello. Yeah, I see that Betterow is working on some of the Epstein. Good. And believe me, I know some of the people that are on there. And if you knew, it would turn your stomachs. You would not watch modern Hollywood stories any longer. It's sickening. Lost my poor meatball. What's that song? Do you remember that song? Remember, we used to call it the spaghetti song. On top of Old Smoky, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled on the table and onto the floor. Then there goes poor meatball. He's on his way out the door, as far as I'm concerned. There we are. On top of spaghetti. That's right. I said Old Smoky. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when Bettero sneezed. Hey, let's do a song. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. Yanetti. Oh my gosh. On top of Yanetti, all covered with cheese. He lost his poor meatball when somebody sneezed. He rolled off the courtroom and onto the floor. He lost the election. He's gone out the door. That's where we need to go. Hello. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my darlings. Yeah. Poor Karen. Poor Karen. That's Shaggy. Oops. Can't show that there, brother. All right, my darling. That's it. That's on top of. Oh, that doesn't sound good. On top of. On of you. On covered with cheese. On top of your natty. Oh yeah, I'm not going to touch that one. Covered with cheese. They lost their poor meatball when Hank Brennan sneezed. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've got to work on this. Lost his poor meatball when Hank Brennan sneezed. He rolled off the courtroom. He rolled out the courtroom and onto the floor. Then there went poor meatball straight out of the door. There we go. We're going to get that meatball right out that door. My darlings, I love it. We'll sing it Saturday night. I'll put that together. We'll put it together. That's our anthem. That's our anthem. My darlings, this was a lot of fun. I love it when we're here together. And it just seems like 3 hours go by so fast. So I want to thank you so much for your generosity, for all of those who have sent gifts to your favorite grifting psychic. It sure does help me. And I'm able to keep 100% of that. So if you do send things, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. And don't forget, be here, aloha, Saturday night. We're going to check in with Dan. We'll check in with Dan. We're close. We're not done. There's at least one more conviction. We're not done with this mess. And I think that the prosecution is going to wait. The state of Florida is going to wait a little bit. Now they're going to see, they're just going to keep watching to see who gets nervous and who does what. Because, you know, it's called the telltale heart. It's the way it goes. And from there, my darlings, then I believe that there will be, of course, the sentencing. We've got that coming in a little bit more than 30 days. But Donna is going to try some stuff. I saw it in the cards yesterday. Doesn't matter where they have her. I think she's going to try to Epstein. Thinking maybe, sort of, she might be able to do that. I don't know. They're going to watch her like a hawk tonight. And Harvey? Don't know. Wendy is long gone. She's not going to look back. But I think Wendy is next. So we're going to check in with Dan on Saturday night. And if you would like to have a reading with me, my darlings, I believe the situation is cleared up. Let me know. I'll get him out to you. And you know what? We may have a little game on Saturday night. I don't know. We'll see. But I want to thank you for being here. Much love to you. Wait a minute. I got to put something in the chat here, my darlings. There we go. Check out that little thing. And it rhymes with spaghetti, Yanetti, right? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Big hugs, and thanks so much for being here. Thanks for putting up with my stories. We had a really eclectic night, and I wouldn't want to see the verdict of Donna, the prima donna, Adderson. I say adder because it's a snake. I wouldn't want to see it with anyone or anybody, anyone but you. Thanks so much, my darlings. Have a wonderful night. Why be normal when you can be paranormal? I'll see you Saturday. Bye. And so the lantern fades, but the shadows remain. This story may end here, or perhaps it's only just begun. See you soon.